Derivatives trading involves substantial risk of loss and is not suitable for all investors. Past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results.
So stressful when the world's on fire. Good God. I can't look at this, guys. Like, my strategy is you buy it and you hope that you got a good spot. Yeah, but we all think you're crazy. You don't fight this. No way. The markets are freaking out and you don't think that anything is wrong. Come back tomorrow and I'll lose it all. Should be fun. Good morning, everybody. How are you today? It is what, 24th? 24th of April. By the way, is the sound okay? I've been messing with my sound. We're going to do something special today. John is going to come and show us a couple of things. Got a little team viewer meeting set up. I'm waiting for him to join. But in the meantime, I got something great to show you, huh? Hey, it came. Is that not? All right, let me show it to you. Is that not just too perfect? That I cannot believe how well that came out. So check in the video description below. You can buy these in the shop. You can also get like a shirt or a sticker if you want. I'm just so happy about it. It's so great. Okay. So awesome. It's in the video description. It's that's that link. It says get your mug today. merch.streamelements.com/speculator_Seth. That's the link. All right, so let's come over here. I haven't seen him. He hasn't joined yet, so we'll just bring that down for a bit. So kind of this market. Oh man, come on, out of the way. This market is kind of, I don't know what to make of this. So yesterday, midday here, there was news came out that this new miracle drug that one of the big drug makers were making, Redevizimir or whatever. I never remember how to say it. Anyways, that it doesn't work, or that the first study was inconclusive, and so I don't know. I guess a lot of people bought the market on that or something, but the market's just completely puked. I really had no clue that it was coming. I was watching at the time. I had no clue that it was coming. But as soon as I saw it, I was like, oh, heck yeah. You saw that one. I sold it. Did pretty okay off of it. But man, lucky, I would say. But then look, they're right back up. I mean, afterwards, they pushed down pretty hard. They came back up. I really don't see how this is like a significant impact on the markets going forward, but maybe it's just a sentiment thing, or you know, maybe it's just traders going to trade. So, anyways, that's kind of where we're at over there on the E-mini. When we look at the treasuries down a little clip overnight, so. We may actually just be full risk on, for all I know. So that's kind of here. We are negative on the hour, but maybe, well, we got about 6 minutes. And do we have some news today? Yes, we got durable goods orders coming up in 5 minutes. 5 minutes exactly. Move this back over here. Or I could put it, put it down in here and you won't see it there. Okay. Oh yeah, we need to pull this back up. Where is it? There we go. So I think we just kind of chill here a little bit, see what happens. By the way, Daniel, you were saying to me in private message that the event thing was showing the correct time. What might be happening is you're checking it before I set it, because what happens is I'll wake up. I used to set it before I go to sleep, but I would always forget. So usually what happens is I wake up and I come in and I set up the stream to go live in 15 minutes or whatever, and you let that all load up, and while Ninja Trader is loading and everything, I go and I eat for 15 minutes. So then maybe that's what's been happening. I don't know. Kind of weird. Let's get our oil moved back over here correctly. 1702. I'm telling you, I think they're going to make it back to 20. They might hit 20 and just like completely collapse after, but yesterday oil was nothing but up. So there's that. Mm-hmm. No. Oh, yes, I already answered that question. Somebody asked me yesterday, do you see an edge in the heat map for CL? And I don't really pay attention to it. But, I mean, just looking at it, there are, how do we say, aberrations, right? There's some size here. You can see I highlight it for you. I do notice that sometimes they'll go into it. There does appear to be level 2 games, pretty heavy level 2 games in oil, and so I'm sure that some people find it useful. Personally, I think that Jigsaw's heat map could use some work. Just my opinion, and I'm sure they will at some point improve them. I think that they need to give a better idea of like what is stacking and pulling at which prices, you know, because I'm noticing that a lot of the things that kind of indicate that something's going on aren't there for very long. That if a large market participant wants to do something, then... Sorry about that. We disconnected for a second, but we're back. Should be back. Yeah, we're okay. I don't know what the deal is. It's been doing that to me a lot lately. I don't know what causes it. Maybe need to talk to my ISP. Okay, so we're about to have the numbers come up here. Durable goods orders ex transportation, we're looking for an estimated negative 5.8% versus a previous of negative 6%. And just durable goods orders overall negative 11.9%. There's also ex defense, which we don't have a reading for an estimate, but the previous reading was spot 1. Seth, do you really use all those subgraphs? You know, where were we looking at? Yes, on the screenshot that I was showing them, they do all matter. Okay, so we got X transportation negative spot 2 versus an estimated 5 spot 8. Wow, that is really good. I think they're gonna buy that. When you take out transportation, though, it's negative 14.4, so a little mix. And I don't know what to make of it when you take out transportation. X defense, it's negative 15 spot 8. Well, equities did move up on that, but just a teeny bit. Just a itty bitty baby bit. Still not over the open of previous hour. Actually, we're right at it. We're right at it. 04. So I think I can. Well, hold on. I'm gonna wait. Check everybody over here on Discord. Okay, cool. Wait a second. Oh no, that's one of the guys I follow on Twitter, GovTrader, changed his name to Zero Hedge. I'm like, he's back. No, it's not really him. He was posting a picture. Here, I'll just show you. Posting a picture and he was saying, "Hey, this is where we are. Maybe sure would fit the bill if that's where we were at." But the market does not appear to be letting off of its bullish sentiment. I was thinking after that move yesterday, well, man, if that follows through overnight and then we open a little bit lower and I've got time frame continuity down on everything, they could just really puke on Friday. But with where it is now, I'm kind of I don't really see a whole lot of anything special about it. Could do anything. Let's get this chart up. We should keep in mind this bond too. This might be a good instrument to trade. No, I don't have the right one on here. Fix this one. I would maybe if it was at 01 half 01. I'm not so sure that I could hit into 139 even, unfortunately. Not holding really tight risk. Let's see here. Give it a little poke. Cool. Well, this action right here is kind of being a little finicky. They came right up to kind of like the line that I would consider significant and pulled back away from it and are shying away from it. So maybe those durable goods news was not all that significant. I don't know. Everything has gone so quiet. It makes me wonder. It's just a quiet Friday. I don't know. I get the day off. Maybe just a quiet day would just be the right thing. There is. They made another pivot there. Huh. At 2803. See, that is not necessarily positive. Are they going to take the other side of this though, down to 27.99 or so? I don't know. There's somebody right there trying to hold it up. I feel like I'm missing something. NASA develops a ventilator prototype in 37 days. That's awesome. Except for that, in New York, 88% of people that got on ventilators died. So this is one that perplexes me. Explain this to me. If 88% of people on ventilators die, then why is it that when hospital capacity is reached, that the death rate skyrockets so much? Clearly, it is not the ventilators that keeps people from dying. So what is it? What is it? I don't understand. Something seems to not jive. That clearly piece of information that I have or that the world has that's wrong. And which piece of information is it? ECB's DeCoste calls for strengthening of EMU with comprehensive package of common safety nets reinforced and effective coordination at the national level. Are they really going to get stimulus in the EU? Oh, hey, look, we went and we took out that more recent pivot high. Probably could have taken out at 03. I think that I'm supposed to be, well, I've still got a few. So we still got a spy here. We still got a spy here. I should clear these out. But that 05 and 08 were significant levels yesterday. So maybe, where is it? Where'd you go? Maybe a stop limit. Like that. Stegson Hammer 666. 3 kinds of Americans want to continue lockdowns now that we know they will cause a depression if continued. Racists who want to see a billion third worlders starve, hysterically fearful coward bootlickers, and leftists who want to defeat Trump by running. Okay. I that was not a particularly insightful comment by him. People that want to continue now that they know that they will cause a depression if continued. People that value life all over anything else and don't really value the economy and don't understand the connection between the economy and improved life and improved life expectancy and improved death rates. That, correct me if I'm wrong, but it seems to me there's a point at which you keep things closed for long enough, we won't be able to feed ourselves. I don't know where that point is. Nobody has done that analysis. But it seems to me, oil's taking a little bit of a dive there. There is a point at which the benefits from being quarantined and delaying the spread of the virus, that you're not getting enough benefit. It's outweighed by the detrimental effects on the economy. What is that point? I don't think anybody's calculated it or determined where that turning point would be. Kind of bothers me that nobody does that analysis. Maybe virologists need to become double economic majors now. Hey, if you're a kid, you're interested in virology, do a double major, economics, virology. That would be nice. We could use you right now. French court rejects Amazon appeal against ruling ordering it to restrict deliveries in France. They're pushing. They want to do it. Oh my gosh. On Bloomberg.com this morning, illegal bets, match fixing, doping, the dark side of esports. Jonathan Vega, good morning. What did you miss? Oh, no, a whole lot. Oh, did not. Oh, that's weird. Something's wrong with our Texas speech bot because it did not pick you up you saying that, buddy. There we go. There we go. Now it'll show you.
Jonathan Vega says, morning, what did I miss?
That is lower, isn't it? Oh, hey, John is here. Hey, John, you there? Do not hear him. Wonder if a team viewer is being difficult to hear. It's definitely, I think it's messing with my volume because when it's reading things out.
Jan Rodenberg says, good morning.
That is definitely softer. Just arrived. Gotcha. What's going on here? I think that having TeamViewer on has just done something to my volume, perhaps. We'll see when he starts talking if it's loud enough. Oh, look, they hit into us. Okay. Okay. Okay, so now I see a pivot at 2813. It's the next kind of benchmark area. I'm afraid to mess with it because yesterday I was like messing with volume. Oh, maybe if I turn that up. I was messing with volume and like it was, you would crash it. So if I do that.
Bot says I'm not talking yet, just arrived.
Oh, it is definitely softer. I bet you guys can barely hear that, huh? Oh, man. Well, there seems to be quite a bit of tinkering around with that level. Where is this? Okay. If I come into the volume mixer, like everything is full on that. Let's search the internet. TeamViewer. Effects. System volume. Something wrong with the Texas speech bot? No, it's like all of the sound on my system is lower. We'll see when you start talking here what happens. Okay. In the right spot. Oh, it's Windows doing it. Okay. Sound settings. Oh, why does that get so big? Sound. Oh, where do you do it at? Sound control panel, maybe? Yeah, that's what I want. Do nothing. Okay.
Bot says you're loud and clear here on my end through
now
YouTube.
It's good. Now it's good. Now all of the sound coming out of my system is loud. So we good. We good. Yeah. Those treasuries, I don't see like a really, really great risk reward situation, but I think that those are going to go down maybe to like 26.5 in the 10-year. And they're kind of buying back up into this area that was like, they had resistance and then they broke out and now we come back below it. Now they're breaking up through it again. So I'm wondering if they just run or what. Still relatively slow, but look at that. Look at that pressure. It was actually 15 at one point. 14. Coming back a little bit though. Oil doing all over the place. Getting some circles. I think we need to tune our circles a little bit. Kill that. Never keep Gmail running in the background. It does something weird and really slows your browser down. Okay, so we have a pivot there on the 1 minute chart. That one's not reliable. Ding.
Anthony Monero says Trump is such a smart president, rolling on the floor laughing using detergent and UV to fight COVID-19.
Oh. You know what? That one is I find that one kind of weird. So what he was talking about is there's this treatment where they like shine UV light into like your bloodstream or something to that effect. And I think that he saw it online. And of course, Donald Trump is a boomer. So he's talking about that. So he's here in this press conference talking about that and saying, oh, what other kind of chemicals might we find that you can inject them with? But the way that he said it was basically was like, well, maybe we should put, hand sanitizer in your blood. And the news is so totally triggered about it today.
Bot says pivot on the 1 minute chart. You mean following the 8:30 news?
Well, there was that, but there was a confirmed one at 28.11.75 on the 1 minute chart. High there, and then the next bar closed lower, confirming it. And then the two after that also closed lower. Now, we may get a confirmed pivot low here on the 1 minute chart if, big if, they close high enough here. But I am seeing them, I'm kind of seeing like we got that ding, but they're not coming in close together enough. I don't think if Ace was here that he would be recommending taking that one. They're kind of fighting around with it, so we'll see what happens. Oof. No good. I think we're probably going to get stopped out here. Maybe we'll be lucky, but they seem to be gunning for it. Well, I don't know. That last bar kind of ended up being like an outside bar shooting star. So I think that says that our entry ended up being right. Somebody decided to come in and start selling it right after we got in. Koreans used UV to clear buses from COVID. No humans. Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, there you go. That's unfortunate. Well, I think I did the right thing on that one, so I'll just wait. This is the kind of one where, like, maybe we could have said take profit at 28.05. Like, we could have taken a little bit off of it. I think it's okay. I'm going to come back to this 04. This seems to be an area of interest. U.S. equity valuations reached near 2-decade high after really. So they're saying that, remember earlier in the year, people were saying U.S. equity valuations are historically high, and that's why Warren Buffett was like backing off from buying things and, storing up cash and everything. Well, they're saying that because of this rally and all of the valuations have changed and everything, that we're just as high as we were back then. which means one of two things. We're either too high or the valuations are better than they saying they are. Oh, somebody's telling me, hey, you got the wrong date. I do. You're right. 24th. It's the 24th. I often forget to change that. I feel like I'm sighing today. Like heavy, like trying to avoid breathing onto the microphone. Well, I kind of want to take it, but I need to see some more indication to me that there's actually going to be price discovery. Okay. Well, there's one right there. I feel like I'm having a hard time getting oxygen today for whatever reason. Kind of getting a little interesting though. Market's perking up. Those treasuries are still kind of pushing those lows. Okay. I'm seeing a little bit of bid pressure, but it's super weak. We're 620 right now. They're not really. Excuse me. Okay. So there's still that overnight high they're kind of shying away from a little bit. Well, it's not bad. Good little stack and push up there. That's good. And Treasury absorbing a little bit at 30, huh? Should keep an eye on that 5-year. 5-year's been doing some funky stuff. So my breathing is slow, but I feel like my heart is unnecessarily high, and I feel like I'm not getting enough air. This is kind of weird.
Bot says looking at the clocks on my screens and comparing them to TeamViewer display and YouTube stream display TV delay is almost unnoticeable while YT is almost 3 seconds.
YouTube is going to be almost 3 seconds, which is so I went through and I did a bunch of stuff to try and reduce that, and I was actually able to reduce it by like a second, but YouTube itself just can't push it out faster. If we were on Twitch, my understanding is that we might be able to get it a little bit lower on Twitch. But yeah, the amount of time that it takes YouTube to like redistribute it to everybody just adds about 3 seconds onto it.
Arnoldo Fernandez says hello from Brazil.
Hey, how are you? We get a lot of people from Brazil. I'm quite surprised.
Bot says I guess that's for the smut sensor.
Maybe. I'm pretty sure
Sebastian
that
Marquez says hi Seth, will you be in the CME trading challenge competition?
Probably not, but I'm definitely going to watch it because Anthony Crudelli was saying he was going to do like daily recaps, and I kind of want to know what kind of plays he tries to make. Should be interesting. My understanding is that the guy that did it last time wasn't so amazing. So we'll see, because I think really highly of Anthony. I don't know, man. I think I got.
When is that?
I think it starts on Monday. I got an email about it. I can go back and check. CME sent an email out to everybody. I don't know. I think I had a good reason to get in this trade, but right now it's not really going, you know? I guess I do need to move this. I could probably even move it a little closer, but oh, wait, May? I thought it was like
Sebastian Marquez says it is from May 3rd to 8.
Now I have to go find the email. I guess there's nothing for me to do here, but I should just not pay attention to it. Ready to learn Futures Take the Micro Challenge. Oh, you're right. It starts Sunday, May 3rd. That feels so far away. Oh, I guess it's not that far away. It's like 2 weeks, right? Yeah. Week after next. Well, I guess somebody wants to sell it. I don't know, for it to pivot that many times, pre-market seems a little odd. But I think that we just kind of sit on our hands for a little bit now. You want to do some talking, John? I want to at least know that it is working. Oh, there you go. It
How's
does
that?
work.
Does it
Yep, I
work?
can hear you. Mm-hmm. And
As I cough.
yeah. Oh, and it sounds good too. The volume is good too. Perfect. Yeah, I took that one after that outside bar. I'm getting them to go a little bit, but not enough to really make a profit on them. But I think I'm doing what I want to, plan wise. So I guess it just happens sometimes.
I guess I have to mute YouTube
Oh yeah, mute YouTube.
because there's definitely a delay.
Oh yeah.
I can't get over how clear this thing presents your domes.
Right. I really want to know how they encode. Actually, I'm going to search that.
It's so clear, it actually looks like it's on my computer.
Daniel K says HLS and dash a fake.
Oh, okay. Or maybe something proprietary.
That's possible.
I guess the thing is that TeamViewer is not necessarily optimized to be showing it to thousands of people.
Right.
So it can probably be a little bit clearer because of that.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Well, yeah, see now they're like popping up, like they're gonna go back up again.
What's making you say that? Are you looking at your dome or are you looking at that historical chart? What?
Just that when you look at where I got out at, that was like a pivot low, and now they're 2 points higher.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like that the original trade was good. There wasn't a lot in it, and I feel like that the way I'm taking the exit there just is not working in these particular instances. But the other thing is that I really could have gotten in that first one at like 2804, but I remembered that area from yesterday, and I said, well, let's let them go and pierce that other area first. If I hadn't have been as shy, I would have gotten something out of that first one. Now, though, I think it's too close to the open to be messing with it. I should wait for the open. And I look at the bonds, and they still look like they're accelerating down. There actually is a little bit of bid pressure here on them, though.
You sound like you got the snuffles this morning.
Yeah, I don't know what to do. I mean, let me try blowing my nose. I don't think I have anything in there. Yeah, my nose is completely dry, but the air passageway is not open for whatever reason. Okay, there was a little bit of a pivot.
Ace Trade says morning.
Hey Ace, how are you doing? Oh, by the way, I was looking at that one that he had, that his thing was alerting me to. And what ended up happening with that one? Oh, that one was the one back here, wasn't it? I guess it did kind of end up. Where it turned, it wasn't so great, but then later it was.
Is that a time chart you've got that on, or a range chart?
It's a range chart. I don't know. I had it like we originally set it up just to be like, what's the coolest, fastest, most interesting chart that we can come up with that somebody coming in on the stream might find interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Is the main reason why I did it why I did the one range chart thing. But I do kind of find it nice just because you can see these little
But you've got 1 minute candles behind that somehow?
yeah. I have 1 minute candles behind that I'm just not showing, and then these ones are 5 minute candles. I have the 1 minute candles that just everything is transparent.
So how'd you set that up to keep it from skewing the chart?
Oops. It's just so here you got the one range. I actually think that the main data series is this 1 minute, right?
Yeah, that's what it says on top.
I'm using boxes, and I just have everything transparent. And then I have the 5 minute one with our multi-period candles. I guess this one I could have done multi-period candles too, but it's just more settings to make it transparent, right? So why bother? And then the one range. And it just the box ones just kind of scale with the one range appropriately.
Can you open the properties for this chart instead of that?
Equidistant bar spacing.
It is set. Okay. Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Because anytime I've tried to put a time chart on a range chart, it just skews it so bad it's unreadable.
Oh yeah, well it depends on what kind of a range you do. Because if this was like a 16 range chart, then yeah, it would skew it. You would get these bars that are like really wide and weird. But if your range is smaller than your time, then you get this nice little thing. And I like where you can see pockets like this. Right.
The zippers.
Yeah. Well, it's not even a zipper. It's like a zipper over across of like four bars or something. So kind of like a volume node of sorts where they traded
Right.
across that a bunch of times really, really fast.
Yeah.
And of course you can see them when you're trading the DOM, but on any other chart you wouldn't notice that those were there. And you can kind of see that they do kind of like they kind of get attracted to them. So those are
And I
these
gather
bullish
you
areas.
used to have a data feed that gave you the tick.
Oh, I do have a data feed that gives you the tick, but the tick is not relevant until the market opens. So we won't see stuff showing up down there until the market opens. I haven't
All right.
really
Sorry,
been
I
using
forgot
it though.
about that.
I'm kind of wondering
You should
if
try those one of those indicators you just built the other day on the one range.
the which one, the one or the two?
Try the one. I'd be curious to see what it looks like.
I'll just pull this off here.
Those little areas that you were talking about, it should highlight those.
Actually does, you do kind of see something there. You definitely see something there.
No, you've tied it to the 1 minute. You got to tie it to the range.
Oh. One range. Aha. Oh, interesting.
Yeah, see where it tightens in and starts to hug the 0 line should be where you see that. Yeah.
With it so tight like that, though, can you really? That
Well,
seems like
that's
it's
just
on
the way
too.
you like to have your charts.
That's just it's probably too fast for a human. It seems.
Yeah, it'd
Like,
probably be better on a 4 range or something than a 1.
yeah. I probably shouldn't mess with it too much though.
No, I wouldn't. I wouldn't mess with it. I was just curious.
Yeah, it's interesting. Why does that one like reset itself to be so big? Yeah, I'm not sure if how useful I find the tick, because the thing is that the tick changes so quickly, you know? I'm kind of wondering, maybe I will unsubscribe from that data and subscribe to the volatility index, because that has been useful.
Sorry, you're going to unsubscribe from that and subscribe to what?
The VIX.
Oh, the VIX.
Mm-hmm. We'll see. There's this nifty little program that people have been showing. I don't know how much it is, but it kind of gives you stats on all of the tick and trend and all of those. And
Right.
a lot of people say that they find it really useful, but I guess I don't really pay attention to it too much. I just, when I take a trade, I'll come in, I'll look at it, and I'll say, okay, is it positive? Is the number positive? And that's about it. Because I don't want I don't want to be trading a move that the index is moving off of one stock, you know?
Right.
I can see on the bonds. It's telling, yeah, there they went right there. I can tell very clearly that you want to sell the bonds today, but you like picking a spot where you're not going to have them go 3 ticks against you is like really hard at the moment. I would probably need to pay closer attention to it, I think. How much more do we got to the open? 7 minutes?
Yes, 7 minutes. Sorry.
By the way, you
I'm
guys.
not used to having to reply to people.
You can just say what you want. I traded a decent amount of volume at 28.05. I'm now realizing.
Anthony Monroe says or just sing it.
Anthony says you should just sing it. Another thing interesting about the bonds is that they're pushing down through that even though there's quite a bit of liquidity looking to catch it. It's like I can tell that they want to go down because I can just see the momentum on it, but the level 2 is actually a little contradictory. I bet you if I had my currency charts up, they would maybe be suggesting it has to do with the currencies. Okay. So here's something on crude. More than 2.4 million barrels of crude is now set to be delivered to Cushing next month in fulfillment of the WTI contracts, exchange operator CME Group disclosed on Wednesday. So they ended up delivering 2.4 million barrels, which divide that by 1,000. Oh wait, actually, how is that? It is. I have to like put the zeros up on something. Oh, I'll just do it this way. 2.4. 2.4 million. So of all of that activity in oil, 2,000 of the contracts actually ended up taking delivery. That's interesting.
How many barrels in a contract? Is it 10,000?
I think it's 1,000. Well, let me double check. I think it's 1,000.
Anthony Monroe says how people will pay their loans in 6 months with all these unemployment, Seth?
I don't know. I really don't know. It's 1,000 barrels.
It is 1,000. Okay.
Yep. Anthony was asking, how will people pay their loans in 6 months with all this unemployment? Well, hopefully not everybody is unemployed in 6 months, but so somebody has to take the loss somewhere. Okay, now we're getting a little bit of activity. See, at some point, somebody has to declare bankruptcy, and the bondholder in that bankruptcy loses money. And the question is just who is going to be forced by the government to hold the bag. They're saying, well, not the homeowners. We're gonna give them money. So then they're saying, well, should it be if you're paying rent, should it be the person that you pay rent to or the bank that you pay your mortgage to? And some people are saying, well, no, so then should it be the banks that back those loans? Well, you can't let those go down because then you destroy the whole financial system, right? It's like, so who's going to take it? It doesn't look good at all. Yeah. I don't know if people are thinking that far ahead, man. Who will, yeah, who will get the hot potato? It's hot potato. It totally is.
It's like that old chair, musical chairs, that old game.
Yeah. Well, who was it? Jeffrey Gunlock was saying if the Federal Reserve bails out everybody, then they're not actually bailing out anybody. Think about it. And at first I was like, well, that sounds, that's kind of crazy. But if it's literally the Federal Reserve bails out literally everybody, then they're right. All you did was you just push a little bit of inflation into the economy. There's so much deflation that maybe you can get away with it, but you're not actually helping the situation for anybody in the end. Somebody has to take a loss. Okay, so they started out buying.
$28.05.
Yep. Tempted to just buy into that, but I better sit on, not touch it for a second. Interesting. It was an impressive opening drive from a price perspective, I feel, but there was not that huge of a change in cumulative delta on that one. There has to be a cost and a payment for said cost. Yep. I mean, part of the problem is that since we don't know how much longer we're going to be closed for, we don't actually know how much was lost. And because a lot of it is you're just pushing demand out. Like there's things that people are still going to want to buy. You're just pushing the demand for that further out, and so they'll make it up in the third and fourth quarter. And of course, a certain amount of the wealth will be destroyed. So, what ends up being the net GDP for the year after all of that? And there's estimates, but I don't think anybody really knows. I'm okay if everyone just puts it on my card, says Ace. Ace will be the one. Well, I'll put it on Ace's trade, and then he'll declare bankruptcy. Problem solved. Okay. These sellers are making me a little bit nervous because they seem to be patient. Yep. Okay, well, I'm impressed by both sides, but there was definitely a lot more selling. I'm still going to let it do its thing for the first 5 minutes. That's the rule, 5 minutes at least, if not 15. I want to sell so bad right now, though. Dave says great rule, yeah. I feel like that over the past week that there's a few too many times where I feel like I went off plan. So I'm really trying hard today to stick to the plan, you know?
They sure put that initial pivot high in an RA today. 3
Yeah.
minutes in.
Yeah. And they haven't put in that low yet. Not confirmed yet.
No.
Okay, well now it's been 5 minutes. Can do Oh, whoops. Whoops. There we go. Try it right there.
Or are you plotting that tick on 5-minute candles?
I think I have the tick one is on the 1 minute candle.
Oh, okay.
Otherwise, it would be the whole length of this big red square.
I see. Yeah.
It's good.
Did you enter?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I see. It's up there on the dome.
Mm-hmm. You see the little red and the numbers and everything.
Right.
See, the issue I have here is I actually feel like I have a really good idea of where the volume is going on the open, but it's like impossible to hold a profitable risk reward, you know, and you have to be fast. So waited out the first 5 minutes. We were clearly down. I still want to see it below 27.99, but okay. So off of that drop, by the way, there is somebody relatively large down there at the bottom. Didn't quite see it, but there was a 2000 traded at 27.99. Oh, did the sound just go warbly? That's probably just TeamViewer.
So let's just come back to your entry.
Yep. But not where the stop was. Gonna have to move it here in a bit though.
Is the stop the white one?
Yeah, this thing up here.
Yeah.
Yep, that's the stop. See, it's so close.
Well, that's disappointing.
Yeah. It's a little too close. Wow, look at that. Wait, if they come back down here and they get below 27.99, that would be kind of a funny turn of events.
Well, I would move that stop. So
You would move it?
yeah, I don't think I would have left it. I wouldn't have wanted to see it come all the way back on me like that.
Well, I could take it out right now, but I think
We'll move it to +1 and call it a winner if you don't get taken out. It's too late.
Yeah, it's too late to do anything like that. Maybe when we came down here, maybe I could have moved it to +1.
Well, you're going to get another chance.
Yeah. I think what has happened is, normally I want to be in before the move comes in, and I don't think I was early enough, So I'm a little bit on the edge of the battle zone of sorts.
Yeah, you needed to be in closer to the open at 8:05.
Yeah, exactly. Then we'd be really comfortable, and we could not stress so much about if they're going to go and take the bottom out.
Well, you could move it now.
Yeah. Okay, so let's do that. We need to do this. So there was this big, see that 2092 at 27.99. I think that's why they're fighting it so hard. So if we can get below that, then I think that we can go. There we go. Yeah. Well, not a ton of stops after it. I think they have to push them a little bit more. Okay, so seeing a little bit of strong buying there now. Okay. Well, that was aggressive. So when I see that, the thing that's always going through my head is like the buyers were winning and the seller decided that he couldn't let that happen, and so he pushed everything that he had into it to make sure that it didn't happen.
Stop to 2,800.
Yes. Wait.
2,800.
Okay, yes. I mean, was trying to see where you were coming at that, but I can see.
Just to get you to lock some in, that's all.
Yeah. Well, I think, like 2 points is good.
It's a start.
2 points is like, well, we should expect to get at least that. $6 points is great. Now I kind of have to look at my profile here and be like, okay, so where can they go to? There's this kind of area. The bottom of this area is kind of more like 2790. And then there's this gap here to 80. Do have to be a little careful though, because the open was 2777. Oh, and we should come over here and check what our targets are. Should be able to have those, see those now. Yeah. 67.25 and 40.25. Well, 67 one is reasonable. 40 would be significant if they got up to that. So I'm going to say the 40 is probably significantly less likely to happen.
The initial pivot lows at 98.50.
98.50? Oh, okay. Yeah, that's correct. And then there was a high one over on the 1 minute chart at 28.04. Oh man, they're really pushing now.
So you can drop your stop down to 98.5.
Yep. Why is it not? There we go. Oh, I think we could probably pull it down even more than that. At this point, we could do. Well, give it some time. We can move it closer. Okay. So now we're below Thursday's open. Okay. I think I might actually want to take it off right here. I'm out. I'm just seeing some big orders showing up down here. And there's some support down there anyways. Yeah, look at that. They can get above 92.75.
So where's your exit then? 90 half?
Where did I get it exactly? I think it was 90 half. It was 27.90 half.
It marks it on the dome, right? That little symbol there.
No. So that PO right there, that's the previous open
Oh, okay.
that I export from NinjaTrader and import into my DOM.
Mhm.
I got out because I was bring it over here for you to see. Da, da, da. Signs of him pushing it too much. Doesn't mean that they can't like immediately push again, but it's less likely. And
Famous last words.
I know, right? I'm just I guess that was not necessarily. I want to incorporate that into the plan, but I guess that was not necessarily a part of the plan yet, was it? That end it was 10 points, so I don't know. And there's should be some support there, right? There's going to be like single prints starting at 27.87.75.
Right.
Well, we'll just watch it in note so then I can go into my notes and say, yeah, I got out too early. I guess another thing is that one run was enough that I could take that and be happy. Yeah, they're fighting there now. You notice how before we were trading like 500 lots to clear price, and some down in here there was like 800s and 900s. So we ran into an area of higher interest. Yeah. Now I had moved my stop was at 98.50 is on the 5-minute chart. On the 1-minute chart, I would have been 92.75. They kissed it. I don't know if they actually traded it. It looks like they did. I see an 8 there. Probably they traded it. Yeah, right there.
When you say right there, I have no idea what you're pointing at or looking at.
27.92.75. They just went through.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Aces 10 points is great. Yeah. Wait, I thought it was bots on the guest. It is bots on the guest microphone. Are we gonna come in to have you on next week, Ace? I think we should. Actually, you could come and join us right now if you really wanted. You should install TeamViewer on your machine. Yeah. So even the other one was at what was it again? 98.50, right? I think we would have moved it down before that, yeah. Like if I hadn't gotten out down here, 90, what was it, 90.50? Yeah, 90.50.
93 would have been the trailing stop.
Yep.
And if you had a followed to the next one, maybe
Wait, where do you get
92.25.
93? Where do you get 93 from? Oh, you're doing one tick above it.
Following the 1 minute bars.
You're doing one tick above it. Okay.
Well, following the 1 minute bars down, you might have been able to get all the way down to 91 even.
Right. Oh yeah, I guess you could say that too. Overall though, I think my read there on the exit was correct. So let's come over here and put them in my journal.
Well, 90.5 was a pretty good exit, I'd say.
Oh yeah.
But just using that trail and stop idea, bar by bar, it would have been a 91 exit.
It definitely would be better than a lot of the exits that I've taken, right?
If you automated it, it would have been 90.75.
Oh, maybe I wonder if I can do that. Would have been 90.75?
Well, yeah. The bar just before it turned up was an inside bar, so.
Well, so now hold on, because we took it at, where did we take it at? 2802. So we took it somewhere in here. So now I'm wondering, if I had taken it at 2802 and I was trailing it on the 1 minute, wouldn't I have gotten taken out at 2800? And then again at 2798? Let me pull it over here. So if we got in here, there was this outside bar right here, and then there's these two bars right here, I think would have, if you were trailing it that tightly. But then after that, then down in here.
Yeah.
That's why now on this one, on the 5 minute, that had us at 98.50. So that's where I had it sitting. And when it came down in here, okay, it was definitely more of a pullback than I was willing to take. But if we were trailing with the 5 minute, we might still be in it. And let's see, maybe they go here. They're awfully close.
I thought you didn't really start moving your stop until they had the initial pivot low in, right?
Yeah, that's true.
So that's all I was looking at. Once the initial pivot low was in.
So it wouldn't have been until there. Gotcha. Yeah, or we could have held it. I think though, I think what I did was what we want to be doing though.
I should say that again. You didn't start trailing your stop until the initial pivot low was in and they had traded through it.
This one right here? I think it was this one.
Yeah, that bar. After that bar, that's when you started looking at trailing your stop.
He says if I put one more app on this computer, it will blow up. I feel like that with mine sometimes. One of the things that I do is I do the music production, and I do it all on the same computer, which is a little dangerous because a lot of music production is like finding, they call them VSTs, which are like little DLL files that give you instruments within your production program. And there's a lot of free stuff out there, or you can try and download illegal ones, and when you do that, you're so likely to get junk on your machine. I've done pretty good with this one, but sometimes I'm like, I would like to reinstall, but I just don't want to go through all the work of doing that. So they're coming back up. They're going to turn back down again here. Like that 92 would have been an okay if you really wanted to play that one. I'm not getting anything that tells me I have a really high probability to want to be taking another trade, though. So I was thinking about it this morning in one of the Facebook groups. There was a guy, and he was saying, you know, here's proof that technical analysis works because I went in and I said, here's the signal to get short, and then it, pretty soon after that signal to get short was when the um, medicine trial thing came out and the market took a dive, and we were catching a signal that the markets knew that it was doing that. And I'm thinking about it, like, well, I say that sort of thing all the time. Like, well, maybe they knew because there was certainly some indications in the tape that they were going to go, right? But then I'm looking at this guy saying, and I'm like, well, yeah, but just because you caught it one time doesn't mean it's predictive or anything like that. Anyways, it was funny, and I was looking back on it and I was saying, you don't really need to be predictive to be making money. In fact, in some cases, it might be harder to make money with something that's predictive, right? Because if it's something that's truly predictive, which is like, in my mind, 60% of the time it's going to happen, probably people in the market are seeing it, and you're not going to make as much on it than if you lose. So you might not have a positive expectancy with that. Whereas you could have something that's not really predictive at all, but when it does work, you make so much on it that it's worth it, So there's my trading thought for the day for you guys. Oh, I haven't seen Ace. Did you see the cup? Did you see the cup? Huh? Link is in the video description below. You can get your Trader's Gonna Trade mug. So great. Did you see it, John? Look at it on the YouTube.
Okay. Where did you get that?
So Stream Elements. Remember when we were setting up in the store? Yeah.
You started selling hoodies.
Yeah, you can get it on a hoodie and a shirt or a sticker if you want. If you wanted to put it in the back window of your car. I was so shocked at how clean and nice it looks. Like, it's really sharp. It's printed on there and it's really sharp and it looks really nice.
Oh, you mean the graphics clean?
Oh yeah.
I thought you were surprised that you actually had a clean mug in the house.
Well, we're Mormons. We don't use mugs very often.
I thought you were saying you had a broken dishwasher or something.
Oh man. I just and also how sharp it comes out on camera. So now we can do this all the time. When somebody comes in, they're like, because this happens all the time, right? Why is the market down? Trader's Gonna Trade. That's all I can say. That's why. It's the answer to everything, guys. Yeah. See, they did go down for a lower low, but not a whole lot. I'm still really happy with my exit. I'm really happy. In fact, I'm so happy with it so far that I'm kind of thinking that I won't take another trade. Well, we could take another one in 30 minutes, but we'll see. And I got to remember that reversal time period, because that one's always I keep forgetting that, and it messes me up.
The counter trend period.
Yes. By the way, Jonathan Vega was asking what time of chart is that. I'm not sure which chart he was talking about. But I'll show you a couple of them, right? This one down here is one range with 5 minute bars behind it, and also 1 minute bars behind it. Then I have this chart over here, which is 1 minute bars that has my order flow stuff on it. And I'm actually looking at this one. Should be looking at this one. And then I have this one, which is 5-minute bars with 1 hour bars behind it. So the goal, I'm hesitant to get super specific into strategies because I don't want people to try and what is the word, like fade it or try and game it or anything like that. So I don't go into too much specifics, but the gist of it is, I think, two concepts is one, knowing the times where the market tends to make moves so that you can get in early, and then two, understanding where people are making or losing money on all of the different time frames, like 1 minute, 5 minute, 15 minutes, an hour, day, week, month, and looking for places where you can get a chain reaction of events where you can get a bunch of things taken out. Lewis has just ordered your mug. Thanks. Yeah. Hey, thank you very much, Lewis. I honestly, I went and I got it and I was like, you know what? It was worth it just to get mine. But you were talking about what some places call the 1030 reversal. Yes, I was. That's exactly it, Jonathan. So at 10:30 there's it's really from 10:15 to 10:45, maybe a little bit less. There's this period where we tend to have reversals. And so you might have a counter move just during that time period, or it might be flat. Either way, that area tends to give me trouble. And I think mainly it's because I don't. It's actually called the 10:15 to 10:45 counter trend period. Okay. You should have just said that. You can just interrupt me, John. You're loud enough that if you say something that it'll.
What do you mean I'm loud enough? What is that supposed to mean?
I mean, I have the volume for you on the desktop audio turned up loud enough that I won't overpower you. I'm the loud one.
Classic.
Yeah, I would bet that in person, I'm probably a louder speaker, and that's not a good thing, right? I can't tell you all my life. People tell me you're too loud. My whole life, and now, pretty much all day, I'm thinking that about my kids. Why are you guys so loud? Or my birds. Why are you so loud? It's punishment. It's karma. Hey, look, they're coming back up pretty hard now. Interesting. Well, they still got to get above that. So, go ahead.
I spent about an hour on the phone last night with Soren going over this.
Oh, yeah?
I think what we had noticed after we had these things built is pretty much what he's using them for.
Really?
Yeah. I'm just putting together a couple of screenshots I'll send over to you on Discord, and you can have a look.
Yeah. We won't go into detail because it's super secret strategy. But I would
secret.
It's super secret. No, but I still want to know the specifics because it was like I was saying to you yesterday. So the way that we've been doing this to catch some of you guys up, because I don't know if I really went too much into this story, but John pulled some of these ideas. I think a lot of the basis for this came from what is it, T3? They have a YouTube channel, so you can go and check them out. But of course, we're applying it to futures, and we went in and we built a bunch of indicators and a lot of things to kind of track these things. And so we kind of built the strategy together. But I really feel like that John put together things and was having success with it. Because when I was kind of trying it originally I was like, well, it's not really working for me. So this time around, I said, well, I feel like I'm like he's having success with it, and that I'm having trouble even sticking to my own strategy. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to write down a bunch of rules and try and trade it exactly the way that he would trade it. And what I found was, okay, like I was trying to trade the same strategy, but when I started looking at it exactly the way that he was doing it, there was so much nuance in there that revealed it to me, where I realized where I was doing things wrong. So with this, he has another strategy that he's that we're working with, and really want to know the specifics so that I can try and do it exactly the way that he would, to catch some of those nuances out of it, you know? So it's little things.
Who's the he you're referring to? Rob?
No, I'm trying to do it
When you
exactly the way
say-
that you, John
Oh,
Bottomley, would do it. Because you keep showing me charts and showing great trades with it, and then I'm like, oh, I'm not like, I don't know if it works. But now I've been doing it this week. I think that every trade that I've taken that has been on plan, except for those first two today, I think total there's been 3 or 4 that have been bad. But I think overall we've been hitting like 60% with this week.
mm-hmm.
RJ Will says I call that counter trend period the 1030 classic. Oh, Twim Dog, I didn't catch you saying what. Oh, you did say watch 181.17. Oh, interesting, my friend. Hold on. I'd be interested to know how you picked that out, Twim Dog. And Air Cages is there. I haven't seen you much this week, Air Cages. How are you doing? Yeah, the reversal is not guaranteed. I actually did. Oh, I wish I could remember what this study was. Oh, I remember what it was. I did a study that was like, if you have a pivot, when is it more likely to occur? And there was a slightly higher probability that it would happen in that counter trend area. It wasn't like quite as significant as I think that a lot of day traders make it out to be. But then what I found is that you might not necessarily get a reversal, but you will get like pretty confusing and disorganized action in that area, you know? So I normally am just try to avoid it. And then maybe I take an 831. I've found some good 830 trades lately, but I've also had, like yesterday I took one at 830 and kind of ended up going off plan in that area until the London close. It was difficult all the way until there. So I don't know. I think we could see a lot more downtrend today, though. I think 2770 is really likely. I'll go out on a limb and I'll say I think there's an 80% chance that we will trade to 2770 today. 2770. Can you explain the ES red versus blue box you're talking about down in the bottom right corner of the screen? So in the bottom right corner, I have a chart series that we call multi-period candlesticks that you can download in Discord in the downloads channel. I think we also put it up on Futures.io, although I think we haven't updated to the latest version of it. And their candlesticks in the background is just instead of showing a wick, I'm drawing a box around the high and low, which the box might be a little bit hard to see on stream unless you bring things up. Maybe I should make those. Actually, let's do that right now. I'm just going to increase them to be 2 pixels instead of 1, so that they're a little bit more clear to you guys on stream. 2. There you go. Maybe now you can see them. So that colored shaded red area, that's just the open and close of that 5-minute time period, right? So the objective is to give me as much information about the open and close of as many time periods as we can easily. So that's the way that I'm doing it. Here I can see every tiny price movement, but then I can also see where are we within that 5-minute time period. And then over here I can see 15-minute, 1 hour. And then I have these other indicators that draw little lines. Pull it over here. This line down here is the open of the day. So it'll draw lines for the open of all, the day, week, month. Let's see, Air Cages is pretty good. I had to take a break from the stream after Seth scolded me on the $100 fat finger. Oh man, did I scold you? Oh yeah. Hey, listen, dude. I wasn't. I didn't mean to jump all over you and make you feel bad or anything. I was just felt like that you were saying things to be funny, and that particular thing I didn't think was very funny because that's the way that people blow up, And I didn't want anybody new coming in and thinking that, when you take a bad trade, you need to double down and make it back, and well, let's not teach people bad habits. I usually wait until the 8 and 20 simple moving averages cross to decide if I want to get in. Well, it's like Candle X-Ray. Is that in Downloads channel? It is. It is. And if there are things that you want it to do, let me know, because I think that we could. I think that there's still some things we could do to improve it. So.
Okay, check your Discord chat.
Okay. Oh. Wait, I need to make it a little bigger for me. Okay. I'm not sure which line is which line.
The yellow
A
line.
is the yellow line, and on the
ACC,
bottom one.
The yellow line. And the speed line is that blue-green line.
Oh, okay. Down at the bottom.
Well, both of them.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Wait, blue-green. Oh, which one is the purple line?
Or sorry, pink and green, magenta and teal.
Is the speed.
Yeah.
Because you clearly you don't want to do it every time that it crosses that line, right? So you want to do it
No,
when
you don't. It was just that one looked nice and clean. It was easy to show.
Okay, but
But
crossing.
if you're relying on that lower line, it's saying you probably shouldn't be getting long right there.
Okay. But it is basically like when the acceleration crosses 0 is where you want to enter, and then you're using the speed line to kind of determine where they are overextended. Yeah?
On the bottom chart, you mean?
Yeah, well, like even on the top chart, the purple line is pretty far down there at that spot.
Right, but the color flip is when it flips from one color to the other, that's where the cross is, right?
Oh, okay. Oh, I gotcha.
Every time it changes color, it's because you've had a zero line cross. And actually, in some cases, it might even, the color change on that speed line sometimes comes on before the cross, if that makes sense.
Mm. But you don't want to take it unless it was previously through the 20 and 80% lines.
Well, I'm using that 20 because it's the plus 20 minus 20 just to try and gauge it, because when it's in closer than that, you'll notice it kind of coincides with your zippers.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You're not getting a lot of volatility in there.
Gotcha.
Either that or it gets really choppy, it'll be up, down. So.
Oh, they're saying that you have a bassy voice. Yeah, that's bots in YouTube and Discord, aka John Bottomley. Silky smooth bass.
It's funny, there was a singer here in Canada with the same name as I have.
Oh, right.
And I, by chance one day, I happened to get into an elevator, and there was one of those nurses that goes around and helps people, like I forget what they call them, like a home care nurse.
Oh, right.
And I thought I recognized her, and I thought she looked a lot like this woman that lived behind the house I grew up in. She was an older lady, and I said, "Is that you?" And she said, as soon as she heard my voice, she said, "Is that you, John?" She says, "Gordon and I were just talking about you the other day. Are you that singer we heard on the radio?"
Oh, that's funny.
I said, "No." I said, "I wish."
Grant, by the way, new name. So welcome, Grant. Well, actually, maybe you have been here. Either way, if you've been here before, welcome back. But he says you sound like Johnny Cash. AC. The thing I got out of that story was that they have elevators in Canada. Oh man, Ace.
That's hilarious.
Wait until you find out about the milk packets. You know what? I actually think that we should do milk packets in America, because having been up there and done it, because you can get really nice bottles to put the milk packet into. It's a nice system. I'm impressed.
It's a great system.
I want to know why that ended up getting popular there and not in the United States. Around the top of the hour, we started to get some signals that they were starting the price discovery process again, and it looks like they're going to try and make a run for the 2805. So we'll see if they make it there, but for the moment, they're moving up.
Mm-hmm.
They have cows in Canada. Don't all the polar bears eat them all? They have a lot of cows in Canada, actually. I don't think that
I think the polar bears are pescatarian, aren't they?
Oh, they.
I mean, they eat the occasional penguin. Most of the time, they're eating fish. So.
Most of the time, they're eating fish. Yeah, I always knew this because I was a kid. So my mom is from Alberta, so every year we would drive up to Alberta. It would be like a day drive, and we do it once a year. I've done it countless times. And when you get up there, up in Alberta and that whole area up until you get up into the permafrost, it's like the Midwest. It's fields everywhere.
Well, it's just an extension of the Great Plain, right?
Yeah. Is that where ice cream comes from? Wait, what? Oh, Ace. Yeah, he always goes like he has really good jokes, and they'll get more and more left field until until I just have literally no clue what the joke is supposed to be, and that just kind of almost makes it more funny to me that I don't get it. Fields everywhere, broken up with igloos. Oh, I don't think that John is that far
I
north.
got a very short story to share with you. When I was a kid, we went on a canoe trip through Algonquin Park, and it's a real popular spot in the summertime. A lot of people will come from all over to canoe through this park, and we ran into a group of American Cub Scouts from the Buffalo area. I don't know exactly where, but in
Oh,
that
okay.
area, New York State somewhere. And there's about 20 of them, and there was 14 of us. We're all 12, 13, 15 years old, in that range. And we're sitting around a campfire one night, and I'm sitting beside the leader from one of the American Cub packs or Scout packs, and one of his kids comes over to him, not knowing that I'm sitting there, not noticing. And he says to the leader, he says, "Hey, these guys have got televisions and everything in their houses. They're just like us." They must think we actually live in igloos or something up there.
Oh, right.
I just thought it was hilarious. I
Well,
mean, this is someone that only lived, 50 miles from where I grew up, and he had no clue
yeah.
what Canada was like. None whatsoever.
Well, the thing is I remember as a kid because my obviously I'm in Utah, relatively conservative person. It's kind of funny to me because in among the people that I speak to, I am not conservative at all. I am like the establishment, pro business shill kind of guy, right? But um, when I was a kid, the thing was always America is the land of freedom, and other countries don't have as much freedom as the United States. And there's kind of in the minds of Americans, there's kind of this connection between freedom and prosperity. We believe that the reason that the United States has been so prosperous is because we have so much freedom. And ergo, if other countries don't have as many freedoms as the United States do, then they shouldn't be as prosperous either. Well, I mean, there's definitely differences. Like when I look, especially in Europe, they have all these rules about like, if you say things about certain groups on social media, they can come to your door and prosecute you for that, which would never happen in the United States. Um, and there's a couple of, I mean, Canada's definitely more liberal than the United States, but I mean, they're pretty close. And I think that most Americans kind of, as a kid, I thought, oh, all other countries, they don't do as well as us. But then I would go to Canada and I was like, it is literally exactly the same thing as here, except for that they don't have milk bottles.
Our milk comes in bags.
Yeah.
Actually, we do have milk bottles.
Yeah, you can get it from a
You
bottle.
can still, some of the small dairies still produce and sell quarts of milk in a glass bottle. But it's the cleaning of them that's the problem, right?
Right.
And
Okay.
just like where you are, people will do stupid things. They'll put gasoline in the bottle, they'll put old motor oil in the bottle. I mean, God knows what's been in there. Some weed killer. Who knows?
Right.
So
Uh, Air Cage is asking you if you wanted to start a barbershop quartet with you.
I saw that. I was correct. Yeah.
Well, I think that we need to hear Air Cages first before. What if he's really bad? There's another outside bar, but I don't think I would feel comfortable taking a trade in this area. But let's see what happens here at 8:30, 10:30. What's Paul Krugman saying on Twitter? It's probably gonna upset me.
I'm gonna put a chart template in the chat for you over on Discord.
Okay.
You can try it later. Just a 4-range chart of the ES is what you want to open up.
Oh, okay. Just that one series on it.
Mm-hmm.
Is that to create the one that the screenshot that you showed me?
Yeah.
Well, I have to say, just from the screenshot that you showed me, we should be able to like program and backtest this really well. And
That's what I was thinking. And one of the things that he suggested was if we tried it on, say, the ZB,
mm-hmm.
just put in a fixed target like 3 ticks.
Right.
Don't make it fancy. Just get in, take 3 ticks, and get out.
Gotcha. Oh yeah, that's a good question. So he's not looking to catch big runners off of this then. He's just taking a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay. But the thing that surprises me about it is that like is the one that you're showing me right there. No lag at all.
Yeah.
Which
I thought it was kind of a
Say again.
It's quite the combination that he came up with.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's the most technical, and I really think that the trading community needs better terms for things. What would make because to me, technical analysis is head and shoulders, you know, and head and shoulders price pattern on its own, you're not going to make money on that. I've done the research on, you're not going to make money on that, right? But some people think that technical analysis is doing any kind of statistical analysis on the market and trying to make predictions based off of that. Some people think that no kind of analysis works at all. And I don't believe that. I know people that have made money from things like this. I really feel like we need a different term for it. And I don't think that using a moving average is the same thing as head and shoulders price patterns, you know? Comments in here. R Factor, are you itching to go long too? But that week low is keeping me at bay. Yeah, well, you notice that there's been some attempts to make it go lower, but they're kind of being held back. Maybe if they come back, I might take it. I mean, we're still technically positive on the day, so.
Yeah, actually, all 3 sisters are positive on the day based on the Globex opens.
Yeah, not on the regular session open. So we're in like we're in a kind of a conflict zone, I feel. And I'll tell you what, another thing, the way that open move developed, because on Friday I'm always thinking, okay, are there people that have positions open all week that they don't want to hold it over the weekend and they're going to have to close them, and which way is that going to go? I feel like that this week has been relatively range bound, you know, so I don't know if there's those people are in there. But then when we saw that stuff on the open and they took it short, that was like new positions, I think. So for me to me, even though I think that 2770 is really, really likely, I don't think that it's just going to end up being like they get absolutely creamed, Like I think they could go down to 2770 and then return right back to where the open was. Would take them all day though, of course. Probably long after we're all gone. R Factor says technical analysis is analysis of the market that makes you money. Rather, it's fibs, head and shoulders, profile, moving average, etc. Trading isn't a universal thing. Let's see, what is the textbook definition of technical analysis? Let's see, Investopedia says technical analysis is a trading discipline employed to evaluate investments and identify trading opportunities by analyzing statistical trends gathered from trading activities such as price movement and volume. See, from that perspective, were you to say that technical analysis doesn't work, then one would have to say that trading doesn't work. And there's a real problem with that because there are profitable traders out there, Oh, John needs to step away. Okay. So DOMs are technical analysis. I mean, in that respect, I think that you would have to say that it is, yeah. From that perspective, DOM is a form of technical analysis. Price action is a form of technical analysis. That's why when people come in and say technical analysis doesn't work, but then you're finding they're using technical analysis. Oh, look at that. They did come out. They're moving up pretty strongly there. Everything is pretty in line for a good move up. And the bonds are getting creamed again. Well, hmm. 20 would have been a better spot. Look at that. So back to 2,800. They make it to 2,805. I understand technical analysis to be everything that isn't fundamental analysis. So in trading, what would not qualify as technical analysis? So I think that something that would not qualify as technical analysis is trading the news. And trading fundamentals. So yeah, it is kind of interesting. But I think that some people think that technical analysis is chart patterns, Now another one is Gary Norton. He wrote his book "In End to the Bull," and he was trading as like that. Technical analysis doesn't work, but we also know that he has math on, places where based on the bid and the offer and so on and so forth, that you should be able to take a trade there and things like that. Doesn't that sound like technical analysis? So his definition of technical analysis probably has to be patterns and maybe moving averages. That's where I'm like, we need better terms. I don't think that we should use the term technical analysis. I think that we should say head and shoulders patterns don't work. Moving average, maybe. I mean, I've seen it work. Set analysis. Level 2, it definitely has some short-term predictive value that you can pull out statistically, which would be a form of technical analysis. Ace got long at 98.50. Were you FOMOing that one? Did you FOMO that one? Why didn't you take the 93 one? He FOMO'd that one. Yes. I was like, wait a second. We got the signal way before that. That I don't know, the way that it come up, you can kind of see there the first push through it. I'm noticing, one of the things I'm noticing is that like they cross and they're pretty far apart. It's not enough. So they come back down. Now they're a lot closer. That one you can take. Same with right here. See how they come down? They're too far apart, so they just bounce off of it. But you got 98. I tell you what, you've got for you to have gotten 98, I think you've got a good feel for it too, just to have known that it was going to go, because look at how good of an entry that was. Pierced him by 1 and then went up and filled. That's so good. Yeah, I'm good at this, lol. I don't know. I tell you what, Ace, I had some like a few weeks ago where I was doing it and I was just having a hard time with it. And I noticed that I was going for them more and more often. Like every time that I hear that ding, I know that there's a potential trade there, but about half of the time that it happens, I shouldn't be taking it. And then, like, over time, like, if I had one bad trade, I was taking it every time, and then it wasn't working, and I'm like, what the heck? And I kind of take us, but then every time, then I go back and I look at it, it's working. And I know it works. So, like, I did some back testing, and I found there you can get a positive expectancy out of it if you let contracts run. And so I go back at that, and it was like this. Well, it was something that I already knew, but it was kind of like put it so much in focus. I was like, you are the issue in this equation, Seth. Ace found the literal holy grail, but Seth still refuses to trade it. Well, it's not the holy grail, Eric. So one thing is there are some problems with it. Okay, so first of all, you need to practice it, and there's some discretion involved because it fails a lot, actually. Like from the pure set of qualifications that I've been able to program through, it fails most of the time, in fact. But when you're looking at it and especially the way the Ace does it, and even when I'm watching it, you can kind of tell when it's going to fail and when it's not going to. I don't know how to describe it. And then when you add the letting them run on top of that, but then that's the next thing, is that if you don't let it run, if you just take it like the first profit every time, then it doesn't really make that much. So you have to know when to just take it off and when to let it run. Like that time, Ace knew to just take the 10 points. And I don't know how he does that, but he's so good at it. He gets it right almost every time, right? So, and then there's things like if it's a really strong trend, what's going to happen is you might get a signal really, really early, and then it'll run, and then you're not going to get a signal again, and you're not going to know when to take it. And so you might do what Ace did there, where you just FOMO into it. And he seems to be good at that too. And when every time that I do that, I get screwed. Trading is like jacking off. Eventually, you get better at lasting longer. What? Anyways, so there's some pitfalls, and it's not a holy grail. There's no such thing as a holy grail, because a holy grail would like imply to me that like there's no work involved. And what I realize after Ace explaining that to me and trying it a little bit is that somebody can show you something that works and you can still suck at it. One. And two, that if you do have something that works, it's actually more work. It's actually more work. It is easier to be a losing trader. I'm discovering. Once you start doing well, you start putting this pressure. I start putting this pressure on myself. Like, I got to continue to keep doing well. I don't want to lose it. Made something, then you don't want to lose it. And then that's when you start losing it. I did that on, very much so on Wednesday. Was it Wednesday? Or maybe it was Tuesday. One of these days this week, I kind of started to get into that again. I was like, oh, man. Why did I take so many trades there? That didn't make any sense. In this one, I could have taken the long at 8:30. Maybe I would have taken it long at like 27.97. So actually pretty close to where Ace took it. But nah. It only went that much further, and I would like to see something much, much further. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. R Factor says I still struggle with that. Oh man, I had a bunch of things. Oh yes, so I know we're gonna make the video after this. I'm going to make the making a new trading computer. I'm a little bit like I'm sitting here and I'm like, well, like, is this really a good time to make a video like that? Like, probably not as many people looking to build a trading computer right now, even with the stimulus. Like, maybe we can start talking about the stimulus and like, hey, is that stimulus money burning a hole in your pocket? But probably not too. But I feel like I just need to make that video and get it out there. And when it is useful to people later, it'll be there. So get that. Wife needs to go to Costco. I have the day off. And then should get together with John and program this thing. There's still sitting there at 01. People are using their checks to buy Bitcoin. Probably there are some people. I tell you what, just looking at this Bitcoin chart, I continue to see that it is like they're on the higher end of overbought. So like, I think you got this thing where the people that are still in it are extremely stubborn. If somebody came in and really wanted to do it and they pushed us down to like 5,000, you might wash a lot of people out. You could really create there's a certain point at which you'll create a real panic in Bitcoin. But it's really hard to do. It takes a lot to do it because they don't want to let go of it. trading is always an internal fight within yourself. It's a wicked dilemma when money is at. Yeah. Yeah. Well, I still go through this whole thing with like, is that code for buy more Bitcoin? Not necessarily. So I was talking the other day about the fractal nature of market. What happened to my background? Well, whatever. That's weird. Is it like that over here too? It is. Something I broke my desktop. Background is a picture. I had a picture. It was this one. There we go. Okay. So, talking about the fractal nature of markets and going back to technical analysis, right? So I say that the market is a function, okay? The f of x equals y. Okay, so this is the function of the market and it outputs y. What is y? Price. And volume. And maybe we'll say level 2. Those three things comprise the current state of the market, right? There's nothing else. Everything else is a derivative of those three things. Okay. What do? We take we're going to say it's time. Well, time is I guess is an input into here. X and T. Let's re-erase this. So you can get a point. You're making it more complicated. Time of X comma T. Okay. Equals Y. Okay. Then we have the Seth strategy. And the Seth strategy takes Y and T. It makes Z, or yeah, we'll call it Z. Okay. And then there's also the JB of Y of T. We'll just call it Z2. Okay. So you got these ones for everybody that trades, right? And what is X? The X is all of this goes back in as X. Okay. So the output of this function becomes the input of this function, and then the output of this function becomes the input of this function. And this is what creates the incredibly complex and seemingly irrational behavior in the markets. It's just like a fractal, because a fractal is really just like it's like f of, so it's like x squared minus 1 or something like that. And then as you change x, sometimes it will exponentially increase into infinity. Well, then that equals out, and then for the next iteration, the output becomes x again. So the market is a little bit more complicated, but it's the same thing. The output is the input for the next iteration. And when you do that, and then you get the Bernat set. Sorry, what is his name? Little set. Mandelbrot set, sorry. You get the Mandelbrot set. That's how the Mandelbrot set is created, right? And you get this incredibly detailed pattern where you change one little thing even a little bit, and it changes, right? So it's the same thing with the market. Is like if you come in here and we change the S of T, we change this function just even a teeny tiny little bit, even though it's not a significant part of the market. We could say that these are weighted. Maybe John is like, 3 times more influential than I am. Okay. But even a super teeny tiny little change could have, over several iterations, drastic impacts on the market. So from that perspective, trying to go in and like trying to predict something, it's like you can't predict it 100%. But that doesn't mean that you can't still pull statistical anomalies out of market behavior and make money from it, right? Just means that you'll never be able to do it perfectly every time. That's my current thinking. Gary, you are only as good as the amount of data one has access to, depending on the data one is limited to, and is a lag to some with better, faster data. Yeah. And this is one of the problems that I have with a lot of people's approach to technical analysis, is that I think that one of the things that you want to do to make money off of a move is really you're expecting to get into a trade before other people do. And if you're using something that gets you into the trade, like a moving average that lags price, then there's always going to be people that get in before you, and you're always going to be late. And I'm not saying that you can't make money off of that. It's just, it's a detriment, the lag. So if you are going to use indicators or something, you want to use things that are current. That's why one of the things that I do is I'm just look at price compared to like an open, because that's not lagged. That threshold was crossed or it wasn't. And I don't have to wait X bars to see if the moving average does whatever. That said, sometimes you get the real turn is before that. So I see you are back now, John. But then you didn't say anything. Well, I gotta say that at the 8:30 mark, I was kind of thinking, well, we could go long here. Never really turned out. We could get a short here in a little bit. It's against the daily trend, but not the regular session trend. And it's really messy down there. And it's 9 o'clock. So I don't know if I want to do that. I think that I should go and think that we can keep streaming for 30 minutes, but then I think I should record a video about how to build the best trading PC and what you should want put in there. I muted because I have my feedback strap. Oh, okay. So do they feed you like horses up in Canada? Oh, it reminds me, there was this TikTok. Oh my gosh, this is so sad. There was this TikTok that was really, really popular where they were feeding horses. And this baby horse, he wanted to eat so bad. And once he got it, man, that horse just tore into that feed bag. And then we found out like a month later that that horse died. Lewis, I use a MacBook Pro and Parallels. That's not a bad way of doing it.
That was a depressing story. Thanks for sharing that.
I know, but you know what? You got to go and find the video. It was the thing that was depressing about it was that it was so enlightening. Okay, so Daniel, I would say that a MacBook Pro would be an okay way to go. Even I don't. I would highly recommend using a desktop processor, but MacBooks do have things in them that are going to be really good for media. And so they don't have the issues that a lot of Windows laptops do, where you're going to get TPC spikes and they're going to throttle the processor at the worst time and slow your data down. But it's not perfect. You're always going to get better bang for your buck using a desktop processor. So, but then you're using Parallels. So that means that you are running it on Windows. Which sounds like a pain in the butt. I wonder if I can find it. Oh my gosh. Is it this one? Let me see. No, that's not it. That's not it. That's a horse eating a child. Hold on a second. I don't know if I ever be able to find it again. One of the problems with TikTok is that you'll find something that's really funny, and if you don't like copy and save it right then and there, you might have a really hard time finding it again because it's so short-term temporary thing. I mean, as a developer today, you gotta have a MacBook Pro. But I was responding to Lewis's question about is anyone using MBP and Parallels. I've been having so at work. I've been having a lot of what is the word? Windows needs to catch up on the command line thing. Like they went and they made PowerShell, and don't get me wrong, PowerShell is amazing. PowerShell is really like the next evolution of a command line, and is frankly too good for most people to bother to learn all of those advanced features and use. But the issue is not that. The issue is that so much stuff runs on Linux. And if you're trying to have a build system that works both on Linux and in Windows, it's like a really big pain in the butt. To get Make and everything to work on your Windows machine. It's so frustrating. And I really wish that Windows just had a really good K shell integrated. I think that they may get there. They've been saying things that kind of hints that Microsoft is going to start going in a more Linuxy direction. But we'll see. It's kind of getting weird in the space because now you've got like all of the stuff that's come up like Terraform and so forth for configuring virtual machines on Windows that are really beneficial. So it's not as simple of a question as you just use a Mac or a Windows machine anymore, unfortunately. But for trading, your life is exponentially easier if you're using Windows. And if you want to use a MacBook Pro, then yeah, Parallels or something so that you can run Windows on it. Yeah. But honestly, I would just recommend getting a desktop PC. You can get so much more power if you just get a desktop PC, especially if you build it yourself. And especially if you build it yourself right now, because the processors and stuff like that, the deals that you can get are just amazing. Yeah, see, look at that. Now they're already turning back down. I could take that one right there. Yeah, okay. So probably a bad spot. I'm a little late, but new low maybe. Came back down really fast too. Should have taken it at 92. Whoa. Yeah. Like I'm watching it. Are they being louder this morning? I don't even notice. My brain filters it out. Well, probably what's happening is they're hearing my wife move around upstairs picking up the baby, and they think that she should come downstairs and take the blanket off of them. Normally, by this point, somebody would have already come and done it because the kids would be waking up and getting ready for school and stuff, right? They've had it rough with the kids going gone. They're loud, and that baby bird is just so loud. Shouldn't have gotten the second one. Really shouldn't have. I don't know why, but I feel like I want to take it off there. I should definitely move that. Now I feel more comfortable. Wow. Move it to break even. So you're going to come and dash it again? They're really... Okay. Just because. I feel you. I kind of think they're going to hit that one. Bye-bye 2-day rally. Oh, see, they hit it. I think you can hold that one though. I think they're gonna go for a new low of the day. Maybe you're right. Yeah, I don't know. One thing I should know is that they were pushing it. Like you could see it there on the dom. They were sweeping. So if you're say you are somebody that you bought this week and you're trying to get out before the end of the week, right? You don't come in with some huge sweep order and tell everybody that you're taking your profits, right? Because you don't want it to go down. No, the person that comes in and sweeps orders is somebody that's got a position and makes money from it going down. So that's kind of like new money coming in. They're pushing for it, and that just means I got to be cautious. This guy might not win. How much fuel does he actually have? And that they're back to 28.90 right now, I think suggests that maybe he doesn't have it. I still, well, you know what? Maybe, John, I think you probably would have saved me there because I don't think I would have thought to move it to +5 when we did. And it really does look like it's going against us. It is because what? Oh, okay. Gotcha. Yeah. I can't quite put a finger on it, but when it was at +2 points, I had my mouse hovering it over, like I wanted to take it off. whatever. That's probably the last one I take today unless something crazy happens. Oh wait, the first two were losers, right? Yeah, well, there was the ones like before the market. Here, let me show you. Because I think that they were correct. So we came in here at 6:30, I think it was. I'm gonna have to pull up my thing so I can be specific. Okay, so I took one long at 08. So I was very much late. Oh, okay, yeah. So I saw that the hour was going green at 04, but I wanted to wait until they got through this 08 area because I knew that that was a significant area from yesterday. Looks like that was a mistake because it came back and then they came down and they took out my stop. And then at 06, I took it long again at 708. 708. Okay, at 06. So I took it, I think that it went against me a little bit and then it came back, but then moved my stop and they took me out. And it looks like there was a little bit more in that, but overall it wasn't an amazing trade. But I was doing the right thing. Sorry, I should have it on this one. I was doing the right thing. I just they just didn't turn out. We were in kind of a sideways area, and after that one, I did 2 in an hour, and I said, okay, 2 in an hour is enough. Let's wait. It was a good idea because it really didn't go anywhere, and then we caught this thing. So overall, 40. Yeah. See, that's I was in from 2790. So 5 points so far. Yeah. Which again on this one I was late. Oh, look at that. Yeah, I really should have been at 92. If I had gotten it in at 92, I should have just put it to break even and let it do its thing. Would have been fine. Hmm. $90 half. Okay. Well, let's see. I haven't actually put an 8 range up yet. Oh, my back just popped big time there. Let me let me try and pull up your template here. It's loading. Why is it not loading data here? The chart just kind of. Maybe I just need to wait, or maybe the chart died. I'm gonna have to kill it. May have to kill it because Ninja Trader tends to do that if you try and change a chart. Well, there's still a good 10 points away from the target at 2770. Do kind of regret missing that though. Oh well. Treasuries came up nicely there too. Yeah, it's definitely killed it. Yeah. I'm just gonna reload the workspace. No. I'll open up a bunch of windows here and be all jacked up for a second, guys. Come on. Try it again. Oh, I had tick replay turned on. That might have been part of it. For some reason. Oh, okay. Now let's. All right. Template. Aha. There, now worked. I only have one of them on though. Maybe we have them named. Oh, you know what? I don't think I downloaded your updated version of it. That's why. It was like a day ago or something. Where did that go? No. Just let me. When was it? Was it Wednesday? Okay. Do you have one with like named better? Okay. Gotcha. Save it in the downloads. Oh, it looks like I did download it. I just didn't import it. Not these ones we shouldn't be. Oh, but it did. Man. Okay. There we go. Now it's right. Now it's maybe even suggesting go short again. No. Man, looking at everything in context, I don't think I can justify putting risk on there. The one that I just created. 8 range. Oh, it's supposed to be a 4 range. 4. Oh, I think it's just instrument setting, so it's going to be ETH. Does that matter? Oh, it says actually it's using the Quant Edge setup one. Let's use that one. Yep, see? I knew. So this is with what we should call the time frame continuity strategy. You totally could have taken it short there. But when I was looking at everything else, it said no. Not yet. And sure enough, they pushed up a good 2 points there. In fact, now that it's 9:20 or 11:20, it's probably, there's going to be the London close, right? So, yeah. So this is an area that tends to be a little choppy. So I should probably wait. So I'm thinking I'm going to... I should go and take a... Yeah. So I think we'll end here at the bottom of the hour. And I want to record a video about computer hardware for trading. And then I will circle back to you and maybe we'll do some program that strategy tonight or this afternoon. All right, cool. Hey, oh yeah. This is going to be interesting. I'm going to take... We'll do that. We'll do that first. Mm-hmm. Right. We'll make it as an indicator that plots with a subgraph that gives you the entries, that gives you the signals, and then the strategy will just use those. But when we do the strategy, is there anything with like how he moves stops and that sort of a thing? Oh, that's interesting. Okay. Like Wyatt. Wow. Yeah. It's just a question of the thing that I always get concerned about when it's a small one is a lot of traders will try and do this thing where they'll do something that is reasonably likely to happen and give themselves a really wide stop to make sure that they catch it. And the problem with that is that when the indicator starts failing, you take losses really quickly. And the expectancy of it is not actually positive, but you don't realize that until it blows up. See that so much. Oh my gosh. Like every week I'll see somebody post on the Facebook group, "Hey, I made this strategy," and you'll go and you'll look at it and it'll be like, "Oh yeah, their average winner is $100 and their average loser is $600." How often do you have to be right for that one to work out, you know? But if we do equal risk reward and there's a good probability on it, then it could work. Sure, sure. Well, there has to be some degree of a stop, right? We can just, well, I don't know how we would do it. So otherwise, it'll just stay in the trade until the close of the day, right? Well, like, mm, you saying that if it's a when range chart and it does 3 bars, then you get out if you're not profitable, or I guess what I'm saying is that if it doesn't hit the 3 and that ends up being the high of the day, then your losses are unlimited at that point, right? Without a stop. Yeah. So there has to be some sort of a stop. Otherwise, you might miss other signals. Mm. Oh, right. So you're saying like don't trade it during the counter trend period, for instance? Sure. Yeah. Probably the easiest way to do that is with a session template, but we could just program it in by hand too. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. Right. Yeah, the advantage of doing it in a session template is that you could change the times without having to change the code, but otherwise probably the end results can be the same. Yeah. Yeah, I get you. Yeah. Like I said, the end result would be the same. Oh, you're saying it could be a property. Yeah, I guess maybe that would be better. Gotcha. Yeah. Okay. We'll just program it like that then, if that's what we want to do. I don't think it really matters. Right. Right. Mm-hmm. Well, you would the back test is really limited. The Yep. Yeah. Well, and I have found that very often uh, the discretion of the person sitting there tends to be a better filter than what we can program. Tends to be. But the thing that's nice about programming it is that you know the probability and behavior in general of it over a really long time period. So we know, is this something that is really, really likely to happen? When it does happen, how far does it tend to go? These sorts of things. And that's also where, like, I think we could totally set it up the way that he does it, but when we're back testing it, we'll make it a variable so we can switch it, because we would like to be able to see on average how far does it actually go from that spot, and look at the MFE and MAE to see. Well, they're still kind of pushing back up, and they're about to turn positive again, in fact. Well, see, this is a spot where it's like, okay, yeah, I can probably make a case either way. No, maybe I don't think I can make a case long, or sorry, short right now, even though they're selling it hard and pushing through a pivot. But oh yeah, I didn't realize it's 5 seconds here. Plus, we're still positive on the 15-minute. Say again? Oh, they can't hear you. And I haven't been paying attention to the chat because the chat bot died like 45 minutes ago. I'm so sorry. What have you guys been saying? Don't forget to like, subscribe. One lucky person will win a giant thumbs. No. We're only hearing yours. I'm so sorry. Oh, but not a whole lot in between that. I'm sorry, guys. That was probably really confusing. Buy them coffee
You're
mugs,
talking to
guys.
yourself.
Yeah, it just sounded like I was talking to myself. Buy the coffee mugs, guys. The link is in the video description below. Get your Traders Gonna Trade mug, because they're awesome, dude. I think that's so awesome. I don't know what it is about it, but I just find it so satisfying. So when I got that, because my wife has been doing the making the mask thing. And it's funny because she's like, "Oh, I need to make so many masks for the hospital because it's, we're supposed to be a charity thing." And people will like, she only charges like $5 for them, and like people will like insist on giving her more than that. And she's like, "But you have to, for it to be charitable, you have to, I have to make some money for the hospital." And I'm like, "Well, why can't you just make money off of it?" And I don't know. I feel like that I don't know what it is, but she has some sort of belief, I think, in there that it's like bad to make money or something. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. But then I showed her that, and she's like, "Oh, this group in Facebook, they would love to have like shirts or something like that." So she's like coming up with ideas for a shirt, and I was like, "You know what? You shouldn't even tell me. Just make a design and make the shirt and see if people want it or not." So we'll see if she does it. Yeah, wrong. You can hear him now. Yeah, what happened
Can you hear
was,
me now?
yeah, what happened was I muted the sound for a second to see if I could find that TikTok earlier, and then I forgot to unmute it, so they couldn't hear you.
Ah,
Yeah.
you had me muted. I see.
I need to get one of these. I mean, I have multiple channels on this one, but not really very good controls to be able to do it. They make sound cards that would allow me to put you and the main computer and myself and on different channels, and then I could control them separately. But maybe I'll put that on the list. I'm kind of pretty happy with my audio setup. Microphone's not perfect because there's still that, but hey, it's pretty good. And look, now they go down.
Yep.
Well, now I could justify a short, but it's not the best risk reward, is it? Like even right here, like at the previous 15 minutes open at 27.85.75. But you can see it's wiggling around a lot there. So we would have to hold a relatively good stop. We're not really getting momentum from it. I think we did good. 2 winners, 2 losers. Winners much bigger than the losers. One of that winner, we took profits on it early and would have been worth as much or more than the first one. I'd say we did pretty good. And
Good job.
I didn't take any trades that were off plan, I don't think. Oh, before we go, we should make sure that we put down all of our trades here. I want to, which ones were, today's the 24th, right? So these ones. These 4, yes. So these ones will all be that trade. Okay. So I should be able to go in here now. Let's see how many of them I actually categorized correctly. This one. Oh, very nice. Let me show you. So for the ones that we categorized, I think there was some losers. Oh, it's showing it on a day-by-day basis, but the stats we had. Where is the percent? Oh, right here. Wow. 100% shorts. And we did have some losers. I think that this is overall is maybe still 50-50, but the thing that's working out for it so well is that your winning trade is like 10 times your losing trade. I doubt that it always stay that great, but so far it's looking pretty good. All right, guys.
It could stay that great if you stay on plan.
Yeah, I hope so. It was 2 weeks, 2 weeks doing it straight up this way, then assess. So far, though, I think that I think that we can still optimize our exits.
Are we 1 week into that or 2?
We kind of started halfway through last week, but I
Okay.
kind of was not counting those first 2 days. These are only from this week.
Okay.
And the ones that I thought afterwards, I was like, well, that was not justified because there was a mistake in there. I didn't categorize them. So there were off-plan trades that I took this week that weren't as good. So I think that we would need to see, like, if I go all week and I don't take any off-plan trades, then it's still that great. Then we're really golden, right?
Right.
Okay, so I will talk to you a little bit later today, John, and I will see the rest of you guys on Monday. And in the meantime,
Alrighty.
stay profitable, friends.